Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 324. Today is Saturday, July 4th, 2020, and I'm glad you could join me today. It's been super chill around here. We're like at the halfway point of vacation, roughly speaking. When you sleep in, the middle of the afternoon does seem like halfway through your day. So, I decided that I needed to split my weekend here so that I could have content for next week, content for this week. I'm going to call it good. So, it shouldn't be too crazy, but it was just the case where it's like, yeah. So, what would it be? So, Tour de Fleece started last week. So, we're now in the 8th day of Tour de Fleece. Cool. And as a result, I think my knitting progress is not too crazy, and that's fine. What would it be? After last week's crazy knitting progress, no big deal. Mostly just from the fact that I ran out of spinning and didn't want to start something new. And then ended up starting something new anyways. So, but I have managed to get both of my projects to good stopping places beforehand. Foresight for the win. This one I actually did finish on a row, so it's not too crazy. So this is the Sizzle Pop, a Leslie Ann Robinson pattern that I am knitting out of Mozzarella Excellent Lace in the You Can Never Have Enough Socks, and You Can't Keep Me Down. So, what would it be? Pattern, much more obvious on this side. So, big milestone this week. I am below 100 grams of yarn remaining. Yay! So this is now probably a proper shawl size, and however bigger I manage to make it, hoorah! So it is now easy wingspan, no stretching required. See? Hardly any. So now at this point it's all just bonus. And then whatever you end up getting this diagonal motif based on how everything, whatever. You get this diagonal motif based on how the increases are being done. So, or what side the increases are happening on. This is the increase side, this other side is the whatever. This edge here is the flat edge. So, very excited about that. Did about half a repeat this week, so nothing too crazy, so you can see my marker here. So that's about a leaf right there, maybe a smidgen more, but very exciting that it is, very exciting that I made it to halfway. So yeah, so I'll be starting I believe that I'll be starting my 17th pattern repeat of this guy. So I think I get like half a repeat or half a leaf every half repeat, so I get a full leaf, but half repeat is a much more manageable chunk of knitting to do. So far, so good on this project. I'll be casting off at the end of Stash Dash, but we have reached the mental hurdle, which was, oh wow, now it's finally halfway. So it's possible that this will end up getting more love just because it is closer to completion. Or I need a very careful knitting strategy in place in order to get through this better. As you do. So, I am, I don't know, this is in ninths, so it's easier to talk in thirds, and I'm past the 1/3 mark on this sweater. But yeah, no, there's just a lot of it here. So I'm going to fold it in half so we can see what's going on. Oh wait, before I fold it in half, here is my little progress keeper. So I managed to do so I did 10 rows. It just 10 rows just doesn't add much in row gauge. Or would it be 5 back and forths? And in good news, so I have 4.3 grams left of the blue. So pretty soon, either this row or this pair of rows or the next pair of rows, I will be out of that color. So I will be well on my way to the 4/9 point. Yay! As you do. So the only question I have is whether or not I'm going to whack in the sleeve now-ish, pretty soon, or if I'm going to wait until I'm closer to that halfway mark. Unsure at this juncture. So, you can definitely see the color shifts going on. Honestly, I think putting sleeves in now would probably be fine. And it will just be longer on the bottom. So, not too crazy. For some reason that bottom does look more green, and it does look more green in real life too. So this purple is just full of nonsense. But you can't even see any purple at all, and that's fine. So I am, I don't know, I'm not sure if I can show you can sort of see if I have to like double up the fabric so you can actually see what color it is. But you can sort of see maybe now how it's getting more teal. Maybe. So life continues on. It's a little bit dangerous there. So pretty soon I will be on to the next color, and that will be exciting, but not quite right now. But such is life. So this didn't end up getting a lot of love this week. Most of my attention was on making handspun instead of using handspun. So this is the Mesa Sweater Wrap by Romy Hill. I'm knitting it out of my Ginny the Fleece Corriedale Cross BFL Cross Shetland blend, and as you can see, there's not so much left of here. Last time I weighed it was 9, so. And then this guy, we'll see how far I am on this guy. Good thing I have detailed accounting of how many grams are there. So at some point I would like to move from doing 3 rows of interlude to doing 5, but that's hard to do with the blue because all of my blues were less grams. And in this case, my fudging probably bit me. Oh, such is life. So, not too crazy. And then the next color, not that one. Nope. Sorry. Like, I know exactly what's coming next, but this is the next color, so you can see how it is becoming less blue and becoming more teal. So, not too crazy. So this one is going to be the last of my blues, and from there on out it is teals or purples. So, not too crazy. So this was the beginning of my teals, and we'll go from there. So, my least favorite colors will be last. Whatever. I'm not sure if that will help or hurt the motivation, but at the very least right now it is exceedingly blue. So, not too crazy. And then it is living in my San Francisco landmarks project bag, which hopefully Sally and Dawn will be making more of. And what would it be? It'd be fun to just wander around San Francisco and take pictures of the bag with all of the landmarks, so. I haven't quite reached that level of motivation, but it does sound like a worthy sort of thing to do on a bicycle. But that is the knitting. Not Mondo project progress this week because I was spinning. So I think I showed this last time, but it is now off the wheel. So this is my Three Waters Farm Fin in the background blue, and I currently have it in its the bag it came in because it is on hold for a little bit. But I have this gorgeous tonal blue, so definitely some sapphire and definitely some like grayish blue and sky blue. So you can see some of the sky blue or grayish blue. And then this is here is more sapphire-y. So I've been spinning that just off the braids. And so this is resulting in some pretty long color runs. Can't tell if that's, there we go. That's a nice focus. So, this is where I left off. I took a picture so I'll know that I'm putting it back on the wheel correctly when its time comes again. But this was what I spun for the first couple of days of the fleece, because I'm taking part in the Feather Your Nest Challenge this summer. So this means I've made a commitment to spin at least 4 ounces a month of nest. And so what this means is that, at least for my one of my Tour de Fleece projects, I'm not going to end up starting that till August. And then at some point I'm going to have to figure out what nest fiber out of my stash I want to spin up for September. But what I am doing for July is 8 ounces of Maiden's Wish. And here is 4 ounces that I've already separated for a fractal 2-ply with the option to cable later after I sample a little bit. And I'm about halfway done with the first 4 ounces of that spin. So this is Maiden's Wish, 75% BFL, 25% Tussit Silk. This is a Megacell colorway from 2015. It is exclusive to Megacell, so one cannot buy this except on D-Stash, which I did last year. Because this was totally one of my fave colors from the spin along, but I didn't make that update. As you do. And it's fine, because for the duration of the sale, I got 4 ounces of fiber and spun it. And it was perfect. But I got to have a chance to spin this, which is cool. And this one had sort of better defined blues in it, so I decided that this one would be the long ply of my fractal. So that was my thought process. So I'm trying to spin this pretty darn fine. Move this over. Okay, here we go. So I'm trying to spin this pretty fine so that hopefully I can either have lace weight, or if I do the cable, something like sport. So not too crazy, should be super duper gorgeous. And what I find to be fun about spinning this is that you end up getting some pretty decent blending sort of in these intermediate zones, so you get a much deeper purple in here, even though it's more like part of the fiber is maroon and part of it is blue, but then they blend together to make that. So it's made for some really smooth color transitions. And right now you can see an awful lot of greens on the bobbin because that's where I am in this bump right now. So I've done this is probably my 3rd color repeat. And I have about 3 to go, so this makes sense. Halfway. Yay! So, as you do, I hope I carefully checked to make sure that that was the end I wanted to spin from. Oh no, it's turning out fairly fine, so not too crazy. So this is my True to Fleece project. As a somewhat of a joke, it was the case where I was like, okay, so how many different projects does this count for? Okay, so feather your nest. I'm spinning it for the Ride to Spin challenge in the Fun Onion group. It counts for Stash Dash because it will be done in the month of July. What else is going on? Oh, this is a part of the Spin the Bin. So this is my last Spin the Bin fiber. So super excited to. This is the first time I'm ever going to be done in July. Normally, I am furiously spinning something on the 31st of December in order to complete. Not this year. And then I could make it work for a couple more teams. So I could have participated in the Lender group, and I could have participated in the Anchorworks group as well. So, as you do. And then it could have just been like the regular old Tour de Fleece. Who knows? But quite a lot of challenges covered by just this little spin. So, not too crazy. And then what I've been doing is yesterday I watched the anime movie The House on the Poppy Hill, which is super cute. And a decent amount of podcasts from the past, as you do. It's sort of interesting to just scroll through briefly for the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube and being like, oh man, they haven't recorded in a while. So, oh well, such is life. I think other priorities, that's a-okay in my book. So, so that's going along. I'm trying to get as much done on this project front-loaded in the month because I'm not really sure how the rest of it will pass. I have been spinning a lot lately. But I don't know. Like there definitely have been times where it's taken me months to spin 8 ounces. So I have some of this deadline pressure, which may or may not make sense. Jessica pressured me into doing it, so here I am. So shouldn't be too crazy. Sounds like there will be at least one house project next weekend, so that may decrease the knitting progress for that. Whatever. And then I have done a decent amount of tidying, so it's almost respectable in here. You can see my deadliest tool, which is my hackle. I might need to find a better way of storing that because it's slightly terrifying. But what would it be? We've had a couple sunny, beautiful days, so that's been super nice. Or what was it? I ended up going on an adventure Thursday, so I've been off work since Thursday. So on Thursday, I figured out where the post office was, and then I had 3 different packages that need to get mailed, one of them at UPS, and 2 of them through the USPS. And I should have known that something was wrong when it told me to go up. So I had to go up and over Twin Peaks and then down into Noe Valley. And then in Noe Valley there was a UPS store kitty corner to the post office. So then I waited in line in order to drop off the package because it was posted paid. And then it was so much nicer and easier to go through the post office. And then, like, there was a person there who was from Indiana, and I was wearing an Indiana t-shirt. But then I had to go back. that was a lot of effort. So there are a couple of pictures on my Instagram just sort of detailing the journey. So bits of hilariousness where the cell phone reception is downright awful on Twin Peaks, so there's definitely a moment in which I was following a path down, which was not the direct path to get to where I was going. It turned out that there was actually a perfectly reasonable path elsewhere. Like an officially sanctioned trail instead of, you know, the trails that manifest. There is a trail that manifests that connects my neighborhood to that, or to the park itself, even though it is not officially sanctioned. But yeah, no, it turned out to be the equivalent of 68 flights of stairs. Oh my gosh. So, it's a lot. That was a lot of climbing. And I didn't want to go the way I came, but it seemed like there was a lot of extra distance walking to avoid the elevation changes, but perhaps it would have made more sense to have avoided the elevation changes. Oh. And it turned out that there was a significantly closer post office that did not involve such intense elevation changes, so next time I might go there. Because it turned out that there are 3 post offices within a mile of my house. So really I had no excuse. So I mailed some stuff to my spinning friend Sarah, and I finally mailed my socks to my grandpa. So he will have more pairs of socks than he needs. He was a little confused why more were coming. It was like, you know what? Like, this will be fine. So, as you do. So, let's see. What other stuff? Like, this is a super short episode. There might just not be as much spinning talk as there can be knitting talk. If I spend most of my time spinning, they're just, what would it be? There's only so many words I talk about the spinning. I'd probably talk longer about my thought process behind how I'm going to make something come together versus actually sort of in the process and doing things. So the making of singles is, while productive, not super sexy. Oh, such is life. And it will perhaps be more interesting when it comes to combining and changing colors as you do. Who knows? Let's see. Other things. It's not been super duper exciting. Whatever. That was the big excitement, was my 68 flights of stairs. That's where we're at, guys. Which I think marks the second week in a row I did get above 10,000 steps at least one day in the week. Next week, the world's my oyster. So, shouldn't be too crazy. Let's see. No, I think that's everything. It's been chill. So, as you do. So, with that, I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.